Here's a huge practical part to that, Ben, because if I heard you right, I heard you say what can people do now, sort of thing. There's two really practical things that people can do. They're so simple. One is spend a little bit of time each day just putting your awareness on your breathing. That's it. So whether it's sit down in the morning for 2 minutes, or sit down in the midday or in the evening for 2 or 3 minutes or 1 minute or even 30 seconds, it doesn't matter, and just pay attention to how you're breathing. You don't have to do anything, just pay attention. That's one thing that you can do. Super simple. Just pay attention to your breathing, because it'll automatically already start to correct. Like you'll feel it. You'll feel yourself. Or you can notice if you are breathing in a way that's causing you distress or that's negative, you'll pick up on it, and it's a good way to check in with the body. The second one, really simple, is just notice that closing your mouth and breathing through your nose for periods throughout the day, whether it's driving in traffic, whether it's when you're on the computer, pretty much any time you're not speaking, doing heavy exercise, eating or drinking, if you can become aware of just closing your mouth and breathing through your nose, what that will do, we wouldn't even have time to go through all the benefits of nose breathing on here. It is an absolutely amazing journey to go on to find out what the nose does. But what it will do is it will balance out the CO2 levels by doing that. And it will also tone the vagus nerve by doing that. So you're automatically, just nose breathing itself will lower the revs. It'll lower the RPMs that you're revving at. So they're two really, and mate, you can sit there and you can take 2 breaths through your nose. You can sit there and breathe for 30 seconds, or you can take a couple of minutes to breathe through your nose.
We've got egg timers all over the house, so the 3 minutes where if he sees I'm stressed out, he'll come up to me and give me the egg timer and go. We
very rarely need to remind each other now, though.
That was
these
in the
days,
beginning.
and that's the good thing about embodying the work that you do and really practicing it, is that you don't
have to manage each other.
In a work setting, in a work setting, Ben, in a investment setting, and I mean that because we run a business, but we also have investments that we do. In all of those settings, turning up in a peaceful and powerful present state, you pick up on things that you wouldn't normally pick up on, right? You have an opportunity to really understand, well, what is intuition? What is feeling? What is intellect? What is thinking? Because I think these days, and this is another really, it's another real passion of mine, is looking at, how people go in different modes of consciousness. Like there are people that are intuitive, there's people that feel more, there's people that think more. These are pretty prevalent, because if you look at any Myers-Briggs testing, any of the profiling, they are based on those thinking, feeling, intuitive, and sensing that come from psychology, that even come from the mystical land of astrology and all these things, these earth, air, fire, and water, these elements. I'm as skeptical as they come, but they really have a place in how people operate. And we found that when you come in with that presence through just doing a very small breathing exercise before you go into a meeting or you go in with all of those senses turned on in their amounts. You don't go in and just overthink things or just do everything from the mind. You'll check in with your gut. You'll sense what everyone else is feeling in the room. You'll be able to notice things. And when you're making decisions that could possibly amount to you making a lot of money or losing a lot of money, that's where
you want to be clear.
Whether that's in business or investing, right? Because we work with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, and to be honest, the main thing that I deal with them in is having them be able to lower their reactivity so they don't say something silly or yell at a team member or just do something that has them lose team members and then the business goes backwards. That
emotional decisions.
Yeah, exactly. That is literally most things that, like, if I was to say that nail down the thing that I work on the most with people, it's that. It's keeping calm and being able to communicate and being able to be effective and showing up. How you show up matters. So like showing up present and, people get it in that way.
Yeah. Absolutely. And sort of going back to what Angie was saying, I know for myself and I see this a bit, that when you're early on in the piece, it's so easy to be busy, and everyone's busy, but we're so caught up, and it's like, I don't have time for this. It's like meditation in the same way that you go, oh no, I just don't have time, I can't do it. And but it's like, then you do something like that and it actually makes the time. But one of the practical things that I found helpful when I was first getting into this was really just keeping it literally 2 or 3 minutes as a cycle. And we're in a co-working space here. There's little phone booths sort of dotted all around the place. And so even if I was having a really busy day, I'd just between meetings pop in and just do, a minute of deep breathing and some power breathing. And then again, like you say, that you just roll in present and clears the mind, get a bit more energy and balance the things so that you're making those joint decisions from using your insights, but also with coming with an energy to it as well. Mm-hmm. But I do like to, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you guys covered there, but you're so right on, like, talking about the reactions to these things. I still remember the first event that you jumped up on stage, and I think it was about 10 minutes or so of really deep breathing. And I think half the people in the room were tingly and like having to stop at some point. And it's a weird sensation if you're not used to it. But I think that you're right that it all comes with time. And like you say, it's that relearning. And I noticed, having had a little bit of exposure to this, and now we've got a couple of young kids at home. Our youngest is like 5 months old, and you notice that they're all diaphragm breathing, whereas when we get older, we forget it. The muscle memory goes away, and we're breathing, doing chest breathing, which is more just not as effective for those things as well. And just an interesting point on that comment you made about the nose breathing, that Siobhan in our team has mentioned that since you did that session for our team at the retreat, she keeps getting all these ads for mouth tape on her Facebook. So obviously Siri must have been listening to the session or something. She's like, she keeps telling me, she goes, I keep getting these bloody ads for mouth tape. I didn't even notice that you said it, but I did not know that was a thing. So there you go. If you can't manage to do the nose breathing on your own, there's some assistance that you can get there as well for the people.